Saint Josaphat, John Kuncevich, Memorial John, was born around the year 1580 into a Catholic family in today's Ukraine. His father was a political leader, Burgess, and wanted his son to become a merchant. But instead, John spent his spare time learning the language spoken in Church Slavonic, so he could better participate in the liturgy. Jesuits encouraged him to consider religious life, and he became a monk in 1604, taking the name of Josaphat. He became a deacon and then a priest, always living an austere personal life. In that time and place, Orthodox Christians and Eastern Rite Catholics lived side by side, and he yearned for reunion between the different Christian churches. When he became abbot in Vilna, he tried to reform a nearby community of monks who were Orthodox, not Catholic, and who were living their monastic life in a very lax manner. Although the monks objected and even threatened his life, his attempt at reform ultimately increased goodwill between the Orthodox and Catholic believers in the area. He was made Archbishop of Polotsk in 1617. The political situation between Orthodox and Catholics was turbulent, so this wasn't an easy job. He worked to improve the practice of religious life among priests and monks, though some of his priests had been married 2 or 3 times, and even the monks were living decadent lives. He rebuilt churches that had been destroyed and preached the difficult truths of the gospel to his people. In just a few years, the archdiocese was solidly Catholic again. However, at the same time, dissenting Christians attempted to set up their own church hierarchy, and the dissident archbishop sent to Polotsk spread lies that Josaphat wanted to turn Eastern Rite Catholics into Roman Rite Catholics. This led to violence, riots, and threats against Josaphat's life. In 1623, he traveled to the city of Vitebsk to respond to libellous claims made against him by a leader in that area, but a plot to trap him had already been set. As part of the plot, a priest named Elias insulted Josaphat and his Catholic faith to Josaphat's servants. After his servants had complained to Josaphat several times about the man's insults, Josaphat agreed to have the troublesome man arrested if he returned. When Elias returned, he was shut up in a room in the house. Josaphat's enemies seized this opportunity to call a mob together and demanded Elias's release. Josaphat released the man after he finished praying the divine office, but the mob broke into the house. When Josaphat approached them, they beat him with a halberd, shot him, and threw his body into the river.